Welcome aboard. This is day 4 on the Oh Buoy Podcast, where we talk about everything that you're talking about: relationships, food, pop culture, gossip, and we may even share our cruise ship horror stories. Every topic is on the table, or should I say the buffet. Passengers, are you ready to set sail?
That's your cruise director, Andrew, and my name is Richelle. And yes, we used to be real life cruise directors. We cannot wait to take you on this journey with us, and we want you to be involved. So send us an email at ohbuoypod@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So, Andrew, what's on the ship to shore today?
Well, first of all, I have my voice is not usually this sultry, everybody. I have a cold. So that's why my voice is low and mellow. But we are going to start our daily activities with a game.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So, and it's really not really a game that you can play at home. It's just more of we just felt like doing this. So now you have to sit and listen to it. And with everything going on, might as well play the game. Are they a Republican or are they a Democrat?
Yeah. Safe game to play at the holidays.
Yes, especially with your crazy family members.
Yeah. All right. I like it. We're going to go through fictional characters, brands, fast food chains, and basically decide if they vote Republican or Democrat. And a few may surprise you, and I bet you'll never guess who our resident closet Democrat is.
I mean, I disagree with this one slightly. They're kind of in the middle there. So Chick-fil-A, you think they're a Democrat?
Because I think Chick-fil-A really has Republican parents and they want to break away.
I see. I think that they are very much like, hey, my dad got me into Ole Miss. I'm gonna go Ole Miss. I'm gonna get into the same fraternity that my father was in.
Okay.
My name is Chip or Tanner, and I am just pinnacle, stereotypical white boy Republican.
So Chick-fil-A is like your frat boy. That's who you're envisioning.
Yeah, well, more not frat guy in college who turns into financial planner or finance bro out of college who wears Patagonia, but not because he's earthy crunchy, but because everybody in the office wears a vest.
Yeah.
And it's Chick-fil-A. He's secret. He's not secret about it. He is very much anti. He's anti-gay, and so that makes him a Republican. But at the same time, like you have here, they definitely have a Grindr account. That's also true. So he's Republican, but he definitely has a Grindr account.
Okay,
he's that type
right. That's why they're closed on Sunday. It's because they partied too hard at the swingers party Saturday night. Yeah, definitely have a Grindr's account.
They're in like that eyes wide shut kind of thing,
Yeah.
They just they're up in the boardroom there bumping rails.
I agree. Okay, that's Chick-fil-A.
All right, the next one here that we got, this one's my favorite. All right, Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob.
I think it's pretty clear that this man is a Republican.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we love SpongeBob, we love Mr. Krabs, but he's voting red, right? He loves the money.
He all about the money. He's the type of Republican. He's like, well, I'm only a Republican because I'm fiscally conservative.
Yeah.
AKA he's cheap and doesn't want to give anybody else money kind of thing. And that's what Mr. Krabs is. And we all know how he made his money though. He made his money. If you ever watched the training day or the training video episode, where you learn that Mr. Krabs, after the war, the bankrupt shady. The Rusty Krab was a retirement home that went bankrupt, and Mr. Krabs went in and bought the Rusty Krab and then just put a K in front of the Rusty to make it Krusty Krab.
You know the history.
You got to know the history,
Yeah.
And so he made a business off of a housing crash after, I'm sure the bubble burst, and he was just in the right place, right time. He's the baby boomer type of Republican. He was born right after World War II, economic boom. College was free. And then on top of that, got a big house again because he was just in the right place, right time. Business, right place, right time, and white savior complex that he adopted a whale. He adopted Pearl.
A whale.
You know, to be like, I'm better than everybody. Like I'm helping out. He's like Mike Johnson, and he's like, I adopted these people to help them out, and I'm like, you are a problem. So, and
You're
again,
a problem.
Yeah, and then definitely we would like to see his where was he on January 6th? That's for sure.
That's a question. Yeah, that's a question. Okay, well, what about the other people in the SpongeBob universe?
Oh, okay. So I think Sandy Cheeks is either I think she might be like a independent, like Green Party.
I could see that for her because she is from Texas and she loves Texas, as we know.
She loves Texas, but she's very much pro science, and so that puts her on the other side of things. But I don't think she's a Democrat by any means because she's from Texas.
Because she's from Texas.
but she lives underwater in a dome, like an environment dome. So I think she's very environment conscious. So she's like that Green Party-esque. As for Plankton is textbook libertarian. Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to find out what I wrote about Squidward here. I'm trying to go back to my text messages from when we talked about this. Because I had
Squidward,
a good one.
I think, is a wild card. He's tough because you want to say Democrat, but then he could easily be Republican.
Here it is here. He's an advocate for a fair, livable wage. Squidward is.
Yeah.
From the episode where they go on strike, he is down with the establishment, so he's like kind of like socialist a little bit, and he is a big advocate for the arts. He's very big into that, but he does lack the inclusivity. I mean, he moved to Tentacle Acres to be with his own kind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's giving definitely like suburban mom vibes.
Yeah.
So I think he's kind of tough. SpongeBob, he's earthy, crunchy liberal. He's love everybody. Everybody can. He works for. He's like, I'm not about money. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be employed. His dream job was to be at the Krusty Krab.
Mm-hmm. It is. He's living his dream.
And I don't think Patrick's smart enough to have any political affiliation.
I don't think. Yeah, he's not. He doesn't vote, or maybe he just goes along and SpongeBob tells him who to vote for.
See, I don't even know about that. I don't even think he makes it that far.
He doesn't make it
because I don't think American politics. Like if you live in a California or a Massachusetts, where you're kind of exempt from Republican reach if you're in a liberal state, and vice versa, kind of thing. So like you're in like SpongeBob is void of any issues because he's like, it doesn't affect me. So that's why he doesn't think it affects him.
Yeah.
But and then Larry the Lobster, he's I don't think he's a main character enough to
know. And
then Gary. I think Gary's the smartest of them all. Lives with SpongeBob. He's doesn't have a job. Just absolute mooch. Lives on the couch, even though he's just a pet snail.
SpongeBob's pet. The baby.
Yeah, but he's intelligent from the dream sequence when SpongeBob goes to everybody's dream. He's an intelligent being.
Yeah, he has all his books in his library.
Yeah. Beware the wandering eye. Yeah. So
we love them all. Okay. All right. Well, for starting off next one, I was saying the Colonel Sanders. I was gonna vote Republican, but you thought maybe not, or that's what you would agree with.
Yeah. No. He definitely is. He is voting red. He is. He's got a MAGA hat for sure.
He does. And then on the opposite side, so Taco Bell and KFC, sometimes they share a room because they're owned by the same company. And I'm thinking Taco Bell Democrat.
Yeah, I can see that. They're
they have opposing views.
Yeah, they're just different.
They're just different.
You know,
And then my final one was macaroon cookies, Democrat. Definitely. They come in a million colors. They're basically a pride flag. Totally LGBTQ AI.
Yeah.
2S plus. Yeah.
What's the 2S plus?
The 2S is two-spirited for Native Americans. They have a spirit animal.
Learn something new.
Yeah, I know.
I did not. I saw when you wrote. I was like, I'm like, I know all the other ones, and I'm like, I don't know what the 2S plus is.
The 2S. There you go. Yeah, I think it's new. But they just added it. All right.
With that being said, I think it's time to go down to guest services.
It really is.
All right, let's go to guest services. This is a place where all your complaints will be heard. Nothing is too big, nothing is too small, nothing too petty. Actually, the pettier the better. We prefer petty. So send in your complaints to guest services at the Oh Buoy.
All right, so I'm going to go first, and mine's really generic this week, but I'm over gender reveal parties. I'm thinking that these are kind of dying down. I think people are speaking up enough that we've had enough of this. We don't want a whole party and burning down half of California to reveal if you have a boy or a girl. You know, and then it angers me so much when you see, it's always the dad, I'm going to say, is anytime it's a girl, the dad starts having a fit about it because he wanted a boy. It's like, that's so embarrassing for you.
Yeah, never been a fan. I mean, I'm not a fan of a lot of things in the terms of having kids in that whole party aspect, but especially gender reveal parties. You have, first of all, chance most likely. I'm not trying to stereotype everybody here, but chances are you got married, and then you had a wedding that I had to go to a wedding party, and then if you were a bridesmaid, you had the bridal party, then you had the wedding shower, then you had the baby. If you're having a gender reveal party, you had the baby shower. So it's like these are all these extra things, and then now the gender reveal is just yet another party, and then it's just like, where does it end? Where does it? And then of course, then the kid is born, and then you're like, oh my god, the kid's. And then the birthday party, and then the christening, and then, I'm like, oh god,
so much going on.
It just absolutely hate it. And now if you. No, there's no, I was gonna say, if you want to do like a small gender reveal thing and like you tell you, like, I think a gender reveal is like, hey, Richelle, I'm having a baby. It's a girl. Oh, congratulations.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the only gender reveal we need to be a part of is just telling me or don't
like a text message,
like,
a text message or maybe if we're on the phone or whatever it is, be like, oh, hey, BT dubs, you know,
by the way,
I don't need, a cake to cut into. I don't need people hitting golf balls. I don't need people hitting, lighting off fireworks. I don't care. I also don't care because chances are I'm not invited to the gender reveal party. I wasn't a part of it. Like, and that's even worse. So it's like, it's one thing to be invited to a gender reveal party, having to feign interest for a significant amount, like an hour or so, and be like, oh yeah, nope, this is really, because you're eating off a styrofoam plate of some potluck, cookout food, and then you have this. I'm like, no, and then they do their thing, and then you're like, oh, cool, great, now can we go? And of course, there's usually also all before the gender reveal, like, any advice to the new parents? Guess the baby weight. Guess the date. Is the baby gonna have? Is it gonna have the dad's? Like all the. I'm like, just pop the popper. Just send it, and that's why I can go home. I don't want to be here.
Pop the popper. Yeah, exactly. So that's my biggest complaint.
But then on the side of it, which is worse, is the ones that's like, you're not invited to the gender reveal party, yet they still post it on social media, and you're like, oh my god, no one cares.
Oh yeah, then they're gonna post it, and I don't, you want to post like a photo of you being like, we're having a boy. Great, that's also the most you need to do about a gender reveal if you want to post it.
See, I just think that we're gonna feed right in to my complaint, my guest service complaint here, and it is just holiday engagements. or any type of holiday holiday announcements.
Announcements.
I hate an announcement on a holiday, via the social media, or like everybody's around. They're like, cling, cling, cling. Me and Ruth are getting married. We're engaged. I'm like, so cliche and so not. I don't do it. Don't get engaged during the holidays, like everybody else. Don't. If you're having the baby around the holidays, then you have the baby around the holidays. The only exception to a holiday announcement is if the baby is born.
Is actually
and it's
born.
Like, welcome to the world, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
So glad you're here. Yeah, but I would not. Yeah, don't get engaged around the holidays.
I absolutely hate they have the whatever it is, the gram, or like the picture, and they're like, coming in July, or what other like, the baker there's a bun in the oven, it's just like baker oven. I'm like, no. Don't like any of that. And then engagements, you can always tell. And then, so the people like engaged, and they're like, look at me, and they have like a slideshow of their fingers, and they're like, I'm engaged, and their hands everything they do from that point on is just like, oh, let me get that with my left hand. Oh, my hand's so heavy. Did you see my ring? Don't like that. But what I find hilarious and hysterical, and I love looking for this is actually one of my favorite things to do, is that when girls are posing with their boyfriends, and they have that they put their hand on their chest, like their boyfriend's chest, and it's clearly like their left hand that has no ring, and it's just like they're like, see, he hasn't proposed yet. But like they don't say it like that. They're just like, Merry Christmas, and it's been 5 years. Where's my ring?
Where's the ring?
I love that, because I root for that couple to break up. And does that make me a bad person? I don't know. But
no, because I love when I see people posting all the time about with them and their partner, and then they stop posting, and I love going on their Instagram page and just being like, did they break up? The pictures are deleted. They haven't posted since 6 months ago. I'm like, oh yeah, they're done.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I think it's so funny, or everybody knows, everyone went to a girl, you went either in high school or college with a girl like this, where it's like they were so in love with their boyfriend, or so in love with their girlfriend, and it's again, and then they stop posting it. But then like pretty shortly after they break up, or they have, the window is not a very big window, but then they're with somebody else, and they're like, oh my God, I'm so in love with this person. It's just like, the on to the next one was just so fast and rapid, and they're like, they just go back to posting about how much, and then those are the ones. It's like, now, like I've graduated from college a significant while ago, and I've known a few people that have, I've seen plenty of times it's like where I'm like, oh, it's been a couple of years. Are they going to get engaged? And then it's like, oh no, and then eventually it's like they're now into their fourth, like long-term serious, 3-year relationship. And they're like, and I'm like, at what point do you just, I don't know, if you're in a relationship for 3 years and it's not working, and then you're in another one, like, I don't know, maybe it's you.
Oh,
but
maybe
I'm just saying.
you.
I'm just saying. So holiday engagements, or holiday proposals, or holiday announcements, do not like them. Do not want to be. But at the same time, keep them coming so I can hate on them. It's a weird.
Yeah. Keep posting.
Keep posting so I can go. This person, disgust, absolutely disgusting. Or call me shallow. Call me what you want to call me. When someone will post, and they'll be like, we're engaged, and I'm like, that's who you settled with? That's what you went with? Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Your decision.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh. Speaking of engagements and love and posting, should we do our love boat?
I was thinking, might as well, because we have, All right, so Love Boat. Does dating make you want to jump ship? Join us on the Love Boat, where we discuss dating disasters, situationships, and trying to steer clear of red flags. Richelle, tell the Love Boat. Your dating Disaster.
My dating disaster. So I've had a lot, but this is the time, and this is a true story about the time that I got ghosted by a 49ers football player.
Oh, we get it. You're hot.
Yeah. No, I back in the day when I was young, lived in San Francisco and I worked downtown. And I think he lived in a penthouse in downtown San Francisco. And where I worked, I would always see him. And he'd always flirt and we'd always say hi. And then we eventually exchanged Instagrams, and then we exchanged phone numbers, and we would text. And like, he finally asked me out on a date. And he picked everything. He said, it's going to be Saturday. It's going to be at this restaurant, this Italian restaurant that was downtown, really fancy. We picked the time. I was like, oh my gosh, great. Can't wait. The week comes by and I don't hear from him. All of a sudden, silence. And we've been texting like back and forth. I'm like, it's okay. Well, we have the date. Like, it'll be fine. Saturday comes around. And I have told all my friends at this point. I'm like, oh my gosh, so-and-so, he's asked me on a date.
I'm going on a date with Jimmy G. Can you say his name?
Yeah, exactly. Like. Are
you allowed to talk? Are you allowed to say who he is?
I won't say his name, but he's not like a.
Will you tell me off the air?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good.
And so I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm telling everyone. I'm even telling my coworkers that I'm going on a date with this guy. And Saturday rolls around and then nothing. And I text him and I'm like, hey, 7:00, this restaurant downtown. I don't hear anything. And so I'm like, well, I want to get ready and like, maybe I'll still go. Like, just in case this is when I was young and I was dumb. I was like, I'll still go, like, just in case.
I'll just go there with some flowers and just hope.
Yeah. So I'm like getting ready. I'm ready to go. And then I'm telling my friends, I'm like, I haven't heard from him. I don't know what to do. And one of my friends was like, Richelle, like, he's not happening. Like, you need to stay home. Like, do not go to this restaurant. You will be alone.
Not your fault. It's not your fault. Is the bread free?
I should have just gone. Yeah. So I didn't end up going. And then I never heard from him. And then when I was still living here, when COVID came around in 2020, this was like, after he like started texting me again, being like, hey, what's up, you're still in the city, like we should get together. I'm like, dude, I didn't even respond, but I'm like, okay, that's enough. I don't know what happened. I don't know what went wrong.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe he got cut from the team or something.
Yeah, no, who knows? Well, so, and I told all my coworkers. So then on Monday when I went to work, they asked about it. And then one of the guys there was like, this guy is like, has girls on his roster. Like, someone else came into the picture that he was like probably looking forward to hanging out with her instead. And then he just left you behind. They were like, there were other girls in the picture.
Which is probably doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good, I'm sure. But
it's a fun story to tell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious of who this person is, and I really want to know. Did you sign an NDA?
No, I didn't sign an NDA. Yeah, so
you can tell me who it is.
I'll tell you who it is.
And our listeners are going to be like, "Why won't she tell us who it is?" Because in the from media personality to media personality, we want to make sure we keep it confidential.
Yeah, we want to keep everything confidential. I'm not here to ruin his life. He just ghosted me.
But he ruined yours. You haven't been able to recover since. You're still at your parents' house.
I'm at my parents' house right now visiting. I should tell him I'm in the city.
I was like, oh, we should record later on, and she's like, no, I can't. I have plans at 7. So maybe it's with Mystery Football Man. Who knows?
Mystery Football Man.
So when a young wee lad of freshman year of college, so I was 17, 18 years old, I was quite smitten by this girl that I was in college with, and she lived north of the city and I lived south of the city, but we went to school together. So this was in the semester, in between semesters. So texting, it was like, and the crazy part is Facebook has reminded me of all this. It's come swimming back to like, because Facebook loves to be like, hey, remember when you put your status from like 12 years ago, whatever it is? And I'm like, no, but thanks. I was such a whiny, angsty teenage boy, because it would like my statuses would be like, oh, stayed up way too late, but it was worth it. Text me, smiley face.
No.
I was like, or just like, oh, I'm so bored, text me. And I'm like, no one texted me. Like people who texted me, like we're looking at my stats, be like, oh, Andrew's bored, I need to text him. No, they would already have texted me. So I was talking to this girl, and so she lived north of the city. I live south of the city. So it's like, well, where's the good meeting place? I'm like, let's meet in the city. It's the Christmas time. There's Christmas decorations. There's Christmas trees. We'll go up there. We'll walk around. We'll maybe get something to eat in, Italian food or something. I was like, and she was like, oh, that's a great idea. So I, like you did, I'm texting. I don't know how frequently you were texting Mr. Football Man, but I was texting this girl very frequently. And then it was like, all right, let's go. And she's like, yeah. And then like I get on the train because I have to take the train into the city, and it's not like it's like I live south of the city. I live it's like an hour train ride into the city. It's not like it's like a subway train. Like it's like a steam train, choo choo. And so I'm heading into the city, and I get in there, and I'm like, oh, I'll meet you at blah blah blah, and then nothing. Then I didn't hear anything from her. I'm like, I'm in the city already. Like what's going on? And I didn't hear anything, and I was like, I'm like, it's okay. She's probably busy. So I just kind of like ignored it. It's a big red flag where she kind of bailed on me, but I was like, no big deal. Because then there was no communication. And then the next day it was like, I'm like, hey, what's going on? And like, she like ignored like it ever happened. And I was like, oh, that's probably fine. That's probably normal. And then it wasn't, So then I ended up second semester, ended up dating this girl for a month. And then she broke my heart into pieces.
Gosh. Yeah.
So
we have similar stories about people just not showing up. What's up with that?
Well, I'm sure it was just, we just have, bad luck, I guess. But we do have our first fan letter.
Yay!
So this comes from an anonymous.
Got mail.
And I will read the email, and I will adjust it a little bit to keep it more anonymous in any like spelling or whatever it is.
Perfect. Yay. Okay, great.
It says, hi, hey, cruise directors. It's us. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I once went on a date with a guy who came up a little short of my expectations. He had told me that he was shorter than most guys ahead of time, which I thought was nice. And his profile, it was a dating app, said he was 5'7", which is shorter than me. I'm a tall woman at 5'9", and I thought, no big deal. I like a short king as long as he's confident. And I arrive, and the man is literally 4'11".
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I try and be polite and continue the date like it doesn't bother me. We have drinks, we make awkward small talk, and ultimately we end the date and we go our separate ways. After a few days, I politely text him a small message saying that I'm not interested. You had a great time, but this isn't going anywhere. I didn't want to ghost him. But then he replies with a request for feedback. What about him or the date didn't go well?
No.
Was it something he said, or was it something he did? Now, do I tell him it's because he's short or that he had a dry ass personality? Or do I not respond at all? What would you do?
Oh, man. Well, I would say if the personality too is not your match, then I mean, yeah, but
I'm all
I
for
think
no
that stuff
feedback.
4'11" to 6 or to almost 6 foot is a big height gap.
No, it is. And I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like sounds like he tried to be pretty clear that he was short, but I mean, I don't know. By saying that you're one height and then showing up not being that height or even being shorter, it's a little bit awkward. But what I find weird is like if someone sends you a message being like, hey, had a great time, but I don't see this going any further. Good luck. That's it. You don't even need to respond to that. You can respond.
Yeah, you don't need to. This isn't a job interview.
Exactly. There's one response, and it's like, all right, thanks. Good luck to you too.
Yeah,
that's it. And I'm told by friends, I can't remember who said it to me, but basically, when they go on a date, and if they do not match with the person, it doesn't work, and they send a message like that, they will block the number after they send that message. Good, didn't work out. Good luck, whatever. Send the message, immediately block, because they do not care what that person then has to say, because they're not going to be friends with the person. They're not going to ever talk to that person again. Yeah. They have no need for that number, that person to be in contact with them, and they literally just block it. And I'm like, that's harsh, but I get it.
Right. I get it too. Yeah, if you definitely know you're not going to talk to them anymore, just block it so you don't have that awkward back and forth.
Yeah. But I mean, if someone responds to one of my canned messages with like wanting feedback, I'm like, oh, you don't have, because part of me does want to give you all my honest feedback and just nitpick everything about you. All
right. What's our advice for our caller?
Oh, just block them.
You should just block them. Just don't even get into it.
Yep, because you did the right thing you didn't want to ghost him, so you sent him a little message just saying, hey, and you did a little white lie, spared his feelings by saying it, didn't work, it wasn't going to work out, I just didn't see it going any further. You don't need to elaborate because he's short or because he's a dick or because he's whatever. You're just saying, hey, it's not working out, and a normal person response is, thanks, good luck. Yeah. But to be like, what was it? What? Why? Why don't you like me?
That's very good advice. Nice. Thank you for writing in.
Yes. So, yes, if you have any other love boat disasters or any other complaints that you want to share with us, we will, if we get, enough, we'll sift through them all. There was many to choose from. We can only pick one. But ohbuoypod@gmail.com. And we'll read the best responses out there. So,
yeah, thank you for writing in. Thank you for listening to the pod.
Yeah, we have. I mean, we're growing. It's all the views on our YouTube channel and our TikToks are vast.
It is. Yeah, our YouTube has good amount of views, and our TikTok is really popular. We mostly just post like funny videos, but it's okay.
It's to gain interest, gain some traction.
Exactly.
Get them from the TikTok to the YouTube to the audio.
Speaking
of audio,
yep.
I think it's time for weekly entertainment.
Weekly entertainment. Only the best cruises have songs, dance, and live performances. Follow our Spotify, and we will add these songs to our Spotify playlist every week. And this DJ takes requests, so email us a song that you think we should add at ohbuoypod@gmail.com. Andrew, what are you getting into this week?
Well, funny you should ask. I am getting it's almost the 25 year anniversary of this song. It came out in 1997, and it is "Tearing Up My Heart" by NSYNC. Nice. We all know it. We all love it. Track 1 from their eponymous. I don't know how to pronounce eponymous. I would say eponymous. I looked up what it is. It means that the name of it's like the name of the album was just called NSYNC. So it's like when they say they're and it's an eponymous album, it's named after, like if Beyonce had an album just named Beyonce, it'd be her eponymous album. Beyonce.
It's named after their name. Okay, that's a good. I didn't know that.
So this song was written by Max Martin, which, if you've listened to the Camp Counselors pod, our inspiration. We love them. We love listening to them. We are counselors. What do they call it? Campers. We're campers. And they've talked a lot about Max Martin because he's just written so many pop songs of the 90s. He was writer for Britney, I guess, and a writer for NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. Essentially, he is, to 90s pop as Alan Menken is to 90s Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Oh my God, I coughed and shook the whole thing. We're all right. I hope I muted that one. I did mute that one. But anyway, yeah. So the lyrics depict the ambiguous future of romantic relationship. It is, whether we are apart, I feel it too. And it's a jam. It's a bop.
It's a good song. Tearing up my heart when I'm with you. But when we are apart, I feel it too.
And no matter what I do, I really do. Yeah, it's every time it comes on, it makes me want to wear like a yellow like vest, like a very early 2000s, 90s, just do some like crisscrosses with my legs. Heavy shoulders. It's like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love 90s pop, but my song of the week could not be farther from NSYNC. Or maybe not. I have FTCU by Nicki Minaj. Nicki just came out with a new album. And I love this song. It's so fun. It's already all over TikTok. And it's just fun to listen to. I love Nicki Minaj. I love Cardi B. They're probably my two top favorite artists right now. And yeah, I don't really have any history behind it. I don't know that she has history behind it.
What kind of what TikTok? Like, I don't think I've heard that one.
It's like the part where she's like, high heels on my tippies.
Oh, yeah.
That's the TikTok video.
I think I've heard that one, yeah.
Yeah. And that's her. That's her new song.
Yeah. Well, that's maybe we'll use it as an audio in our TikTok.
We might, yeah. I'll try to find one that we could use. Oh, and then she calls her fans were saying like Gag City, like they're in Gag City when the album comes out because they're gagged because they're like they love it so much.
I know what gagged means. Okay.
Well, Richelle, for other people that don't.
I watched RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
Okay. Gagged.
They're gagged for Nicki Minaj.
I'm like one of the only straight men in all of the world that watches RuPaul's Drag Race.
We love RuPaul's Drag Race. Mm-hmm. I'm sure other people watch it too.
I said no other straight men.
Oh, straight men.
Plenty of people watch it. I'm definitely in a small demographic, which actually a couple seasons ago, Maddie Morphosis was the first like hetero, like she was a straight drag queen as well.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
I mean, I'm not a drag queen. I'm not saying as well as like.
I mean, you could be if you wanted to.
This would not conceal well.
Conceal well.
Yeah. I'm a very dark so. Watching seasons of Drag Race, I like the girls that have to like I'm a very dark hair. My hair is for are not on YouTube listeners. I have a very dark beard that when I shave stubble comes in very quickly. Okay. I have a very very Middle Eastern genetic beard, and if I was to be a drag queen, the amount of shaving and making sure that it gets hidden, I would say it would be very tough. It would be very tough to do. Yeah. You'd see shadow. I would not be on the runway, and Rue would be like, "Girl, you need to do better with your makeup." I'm like, I can't get any better. But yeah, so
we kind of
do we have another segment?
No, we kind of flew through this segment. It's been 40 minutes. I don't know. That's all right. It's a quick show. Last show was a little bit longer. It was over an hour.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we give our producers enough time to edit it, and our social media team to get things up on social media. We applaud them. They work very hard. They are a team, almost like a team of one that they just work incredibly tirelessly.
And Andrew and I actually were just chatting about maybe having some guests on the show. So in 2024, you can look forward to maybe some guest appearances. We'll try to get that going for our listeners.
Yes, and I am excited. We will have guests. We'll have guests from our past cruise experiences. We'll have guests, we'll have special guest appearances from celebrities even.
Yeah.
We'll get some pull.
We'll get some pull. Yeah, so we have some big plans for 2024.
Oh, well, we got a little time here real quick. 2024. What do you want? What is your biggest what do they call it?
Resolution?
Yeah, destitution. No, resolution.
Resolution. So my personal resolution is I'm getting back into the gym, getting back into fitness, hoping to compete sometime this year.
Nice.
My own personal. Yeah. How about you?
My personal one is to eventually play and pass my PAT in golf. I think that's it's every year. It is one of my resolutions, as it is something that I need to do for my job, and I keep taking it and failing. So this is the year.
This is the year. This is your year where you're going to pass. But I think it would be fun. I know we talked about before coming up with some really wild resolutions that we can talk about on the next episode.
Yeah, because the next episode will be in the new year.
We'll be in January. Yeah.
So we'll see where we're at with our resolutions. See how close we are to joining a cult.
To joining a cult. Or
Cheers
starting one.
To joining or starting a cult.
To starting.
Well, that's all we have today on the Ship to Shore. And we have a lot planned for next time, as we've told you. So see you soon for next week or next time.
And passengers, as always, please like, follow, comment, rate us 5 stars. We need this validation. Or just comment where you're listening from. Give us a like. Doesn't cost you anything. Totally free, and it helps us out. And send in those emails at ohbuoypod@gmail.com and share the episode with your friends so everyone can join us on this voyage.
Adios. Bye-bye.
Bye.